Peace and welcome to the Motor House Artist Talk. I'm your host, Faraji Muhammad. Thank you so much for checking in and being a part of tonight's conversation. Folks, I'm very, very excited to talk to another artist from our Digital Artist Portfolio Program, our DAP program, our 4.0 cohort. We are going to be talking to Lilly Sparks, Lilly Sparks, the comedian, to talk to us about her involvement with comedy. Now, before we get into our conversation with Lilly, we want you to make sure that you follow us on all of our social media platforms. It's just one word, folks, motorhousebaltimore.com, all together. That's Motor House Baltimore first. That's the where you can find us on IG and Facebook. But motorhousebaltimore.com is the official website of Motor House, where you can find all the latest news and happenings here at Motor House. Folks, let's get into it because I'm very, very excited to talk to my very special guest, Lilly Sparks. Lilly, good evening. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here. The bright light.
So let's talk a little bit about your comedy journey. How long have you been in comedy?
I've been in comedy since June 2018.
Okay, so it's been about 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay, we just kind of passed that milestone for you, right?
Yeah, it felt weird because of like the pandemic.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm just like, it gets foggy.
So really, you've been in comedy for 3 years, but with the pandemic, it's like a year has gone. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, at least for stand-up.
Stand-up. Okay. So what got you into comedy? Because I know that comedy is a tough business to get into.
So what got me into comedy would be, I think I've always kind of known I was gonna do it. Mm-hmm. Like when I was in 8th grade or like middle school, I would listen to like Pandora stand-up channel a lot.
Wow.
And I was like, this is it. This is it. And I went to New York once and I like went to a comedy club and I was like, I gotta do it. And then I looked up what it took to be a comedian in 9th grade and I was like, maybe I don't have to.
So what changed for you?
What changed was when I got into like college, I was like, I really wanted to get into like TV show writing. And then I kind of like looked, because I like always loved comedy and I use comedy in my day-to-day to like socially. So like I just love comedy in general. Like it's how I function as a human. And then like when I was in college and I was like, okay, I want to get into comedy writing, and people were like, a lot of stand-ups do comedy writing, and I remembered how much I wanted to do it. Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna just do it.
So you said it's how you function as a human. Do you happen, like what? Now you got me interested. How do you see the world? Do you see the world, through like a glass that's half full? Do you see the silver lining, or is everything just shitty? Like, how do you see the world?
Well, I think when I said like how I function, it's because when I was like in school, I realized at a very young age that if people think I'm funny, they won't think I'm weird. And then like I kind of how I observe the world, like kind of because comedy is how you observe the world. Yeah. And I don't know, like the world's shit right now. But it's been shit.
Right, okay.
I mean, no, there's great. I mean, is the world good? I don't.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot of good, a lot of bad.
Yeah, definitely. So now that you're in this place, you're part of our Digital Artist Portfolio Program, our DAP program. Talk to me about how does this program fit into your larger journey? Yeah,
so during the pandemic with being like digital art and like a digital artist and like kind of using like social media, I got into making videos as a way of doing comedy versus stand-up.
Right.
So kind of like using like online presence and online as a tool to be an artist and get like my work out there. So then having like DAP come up and being a program that kind of is utilizing something I'm working on and I can learn more about it, have like resources like to help me. I was like, this is gonna be like really good, and I really wanted to apply to it, and I also like wanted to use it to help like complete more art projects and stuff, and like kind of like tie in comedy and art and really like go deeper into that level and like pursuing my own art.
Right, right. Has your family been supportive of your journey?
This is a boring answer, but yes. It would be
I
funny.
mean, because, you know, I think it's interesting, you know, I mean, I definitely, I went to an art school. I went to art high school, and, you know, I've come across people. My family was supportive, but I've come across people where they're like, Mom, Dad, I want to be a comedian, and sometimes that conversation can be like, you want to do what?
I think there was two things. One is my mom always had an inkling that I was going to be a comedian.
Really?
She always, like, when I was a kid, she was like, I wanted to stop you, but I was like, what if, like,
What?
she was the next comedian? She's like, you're saying too much, but, like, I didn't want to tell you. But I was like, okay, Mom. And the other thing is, right before college, I said I wasn't going to college. So then when I switched from not going to college to art school, my parents were just happy I was going to college. And that's a
Nice.
trick.
That's a trick. You're like, I'm not going to college. I'm going to art school.
No, I meant, like, I'm not going to any college. I'm going, like, to do nothing after, like, high school. And then when I was like, okay, I guess I'll go to art school, my mom was like, thank God.
Like something. I don't care. Just something.
Yeah, you just gotta, you know, it's like a bargaining thing. You gotta,
Yeah.
like, be like, no, I'm gonna disappoint you.
Gotcha.
And then completely, and then like, okay, here's a little something.
So where do you see yourself right now, and how far do you want to take your comedy?
I want to take it as far as it can go, but I want to, no, I want comedy made my whole life. I want to, like, kind of, like, make TV shows and, like, film and, like, comedy, like, just, like, comedy, like, film and stuff like that, like, my
Yeah.
whole life. And I want that to be my whole career. And I want to always, like, do stand-up.
Yeah.
And, like, I want to, like, kind of, like, combine, like, filmmaking, art, and comedy and have that be, like, my whole life. And that's kind
awesome.
of my goal.
Are you, as being a young woman in comedy, do you feel like now that there's more space for young women like yourself to express themselves?
Yeah, no, I think it's getting like better. I
Okay.
think that, like, it's definitely like a very male-dominated genre of entertainment.
Yeah.
And like there's a lot of there's a lot of issues still, truthfully.
Yeah, very much, yeah.
But I think it's getting better, and I think that, like, what's happening is, like, a lot of, like, I think it's about, like, continuing to create, like, open spaces where, like women can perform and men are held a little bit more accountable for their, like, actions, and also just, like, kind of assessing who we think is funny and why.
Yeah.
And why we think people are more funny. But I think that it's getting better. There's more great female comedians.
It's a lot of female comedians. Love them.
Can't get enough of them.
I'm serious. Funny as, I'm telling you. I love them. So I agree. I think that it is that there are some improvements, but then there's still a lot of, ground to cover.
Yeah.
At the same time. And I'm excited, and we're all excited here to be able to see you in this journey. Who do you look to for your comedic inspiration? Who are the folks that you say, you know what? This is the person that I wanted to, I want to step into their shoes at some point.
I'm going to list three
Three of them.
people.
Go ahead. Come on, Lily.
And one of them's not exactly a comedian, but Maria Bamford,
Okay. I'm familiar.
Dave Chappelle,
Oh, yes.
and Charlie Kaufman.
Wow. Okay. Maria Belford, Dave Chappelle, and Charlie Kaufman.
Even though I know Charlie Kaufman is more of, like, known as, like, making movies, a
Yeah.
lot of them have, like, comedic mixed with, like, surrealist.
Yeah.
Like, elements that
Yeah.
I really like in terms of, like, as a filmmaker, and I think that inspires, like, a lot of my comedy. So I know that one was a weird one because it wasn't like a stand-up.
That's all good. It's all good. When people see your set, what do you expect them to see?
I feel like I like to play a lot on my, like, persona and how I come off, and, like, kind of, like, using my, like, awkwardness and dryness as, like, a way of, like, creating, like, a character where all my jokes kind of, like, the jokes vary, but I think it kind of centers on, like, my persona on stage and exaggerating that.
There it is. Well, Lily, we are very happy to have you as part of our DAP program here at Motor House, and more importantly, we're excited to see how you evolve over these next few weeks, and of course for your upcoming performance. Folks, Lilly Sparks. You can make sure that you follow her. Lilly, tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
You can find me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, all Lilly __ Sparks, or Lilly Sparks, if you just look up the username. I post some videos online and occasionally some art. Follow me if you want, please. And thanks for having me in this program. I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Well, we thank, and it's UM. Now I know it's just but it's Lilly UM.
Yeah.
1M.
1M, not two.
Not
That's
two, not three.
Oh, and 2 L's. That's where it gets confusing.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. Lilly,
I hope it's high in the algorithm or something.
Right.
Or there's a lower third.
Right, exactly. Lilly, we thank you so much, and I appreciate your time tonight. And thank you, and we look forward to working with you.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Folks, Lilly Sparks, make sure you follow her on all social media platforms. That's going to do it for tonight's Artist Talk. I look forward to chatting with you very soon. I'm Faraji Muhammad, and for the team at Motor House, we thank you for your support.